What is something that you've done recently that you've regretted?
Ooh. Lightweight regret getting both vaccines on the same day.
I don't know why
And
you
it's
did that to yourself.
honestly, it's not the fact that I got them on the same day. It's more so that I did it on the same day and then worked the day after. I would still get them on the same day, but I would make sure I would do it on either a Friday or take the day off.
Oh, so you can recover.
Yeah, so I could just be completely wiped out.
Mm.
Um, that was the easy one actually. Like that's literally the only regret that stands out at this point recently. And it's just the scheduling. I'm okay with getting both of them on the same day. Flu shot and booster, same day. One day of crap, I'm good with it.
Mm.
But don't work after you do that because there are better choices to make.
I feel like this PSA should have gone out before you've done it so that you.
This PSA should have been recorded in last week's episode. So that's neither here nor there or anywhere.
Oh,
What
yeah,
about you?
no.
What's something recently
Um,
that you've done that you regret?
so Saturday, I went to go see Smile.
Mm.
Um, okay. Storyline, give it a C minus. But the jump scares,
Was it like loud jump scares where it was clearly just the sound played into it, or
no,
was it
it was like actual. It wasn't like, okay, I shouldn't call them jump scares. The thrills, like
okay?
the actual scary moments were. It wasn't just a jump scare. Like there
Okay,
was actually something there.
that's
It
saying something
wasn't
for
like sound build up, and then the refrigerator door closed, and there's
like,
nothing there. It was
yeah,
literally like ominous music would slowly start playing, but as you're looking in the dark, a figure starts to form.
like you can't really tell what it is until it really starts to take shape.
I have slept with the light on every day,
Really,
and I have only watched cartoons.
there's someone behind you smiling. And I'm just like,
And I'm just like, it. So the movie itself is like one of my worst fears realized because she couldn't tell the difference between her hallucinations and reality. So she
hmm,
would do the whole thing and act out the whole thing.
yeah,
And then something would happen where she realized I was never on the phone, or this person was never here, or
oh,
I never left the office, or I never did. And I was just like, yo. And while, yeah, it was predictable, it was a predictable horror movie, but the scares they had, I was a good majority of the film, I was looking at the corner of the screen just to
like
make
I'm
sure
not
that
doing this.
when I panned back, it was good. Spoiler, the good thing was the black guy didn't die. So yeah. Um, yeah. I
We
was worried about his
deserve,
safety for the first 40 minutes of the movie, but yeah, I'm glad that he made it.
we deserve that. You know,
He made it. He was only like he was the only black character. Cal Penn was in it.
really?
Yeah, but not like as much.
Hmm.
Wait, is that his name? Harold and Kumar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Calvin.
okay. Yeah, he was in it. It's interesting to see him as a more distinguished older gentleman. Like
Hmm.
that was interesting for me. But yeah, that movie, it was good scary. And I mean,
Okay.
it was
Yeah, it
good
looks like
scary.
one of those movies. Like the trailer, it looks like one of those things where it's like when I was younger, I would be really excited to see it, and then I would be
Mhm.
disappointed by it. But
Mm,
now that makes me a little more excited to see it.
yeah, I knew I shouldn't have seen it because I knew this is so bad. I knew I shouldn't have seen it because the trailer picture was haunting me for like a few days.
See, that's how I
And
want you to feel
so
about Tika Sumpter. Like I want you to
I
think
don't want to think
at
about Tinka Sumpter in
every
that space.
corner that you're going
No.
to think every single corner, is she there? What's that in
Mm.
the shadow over there? Is that her? Is she looking
I
at
feel
me
like
through
if
her
I just
brows?
flicked just her forehead, she would shatter in a million pieces because it's
What if
just
she would? Like she's just made out of
plasticky,
eggshells?
like, well, maybe eggshells, not porcelain, but like something like glued together that was
Paper
just
Paper mache.
You put the lotion on its skin.
Like a
Um,
Fabergé egg.
yeah, but
Did
not
your
as
parents ever
expensive.
have any of those?
No,
My mom had
they had a
one or
huge
two.
curio or china cabinet,
Mhm.
but it was just like china. It wasn't
It's
like
deep.
uh
Different kind of knickknacks and stuff.
yeah. It was
Mhm.
just different kind of glasses and like the translucent china plates and stuff. That's how
Yeah.
you know they're real. Um,
Fine
and some of
china.
the heavier plates and like the Thanksgiving and Christmas wear and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The special occasion stuff.
Yeah. But if you're gonna see Smile, and I'm a horror movie enthusiast, like Black Horror Humor Podcast representing.
Whoop, whoop.
Um, Shout out to Drake and Baylor and all of us at Black Horror Humor. Watch horror movies a lot, but this one is the first one in a while that got me, and I was just like,
She
I, I
shook.
shouldn't have seen, like, my place has no dark corners now. Sometimes I could leave the hall light off and then just walk past. No, all the lights are on.
Nope.
I don't even,
Mm-mm.
and I'm like, and people are like, oh, use your flashlight. No, flashlight. What?
Why not?
What? No. What? No, no. So just beware. Smile did get me, not because the storyline was so bad, but they did set it up for a sequel.
Of
But it
course.
was just like the actual horror of not knowing what's real,
Hmm.
and that like added way too many layers for me. But yeah, so if you're gonna see that, and that is one of your things, be prepared.
Proceed with caution.
Absolutely. But welcome to another episode of Take a Six Podcast. I'm your host, Leah, and joined this week by my co star, Jason.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
Are you feeling better after double dosing
I'm
on
feeling
vaccines and going to work?
great. I'm feeling great. That was
Oh,
a rough Friday. A lot of really strange stuff happened. A lot of concerning things happened. Not just for me, not just the fever, but just stuff with work. So I'm not even sure a lot of the stuff that happened during the day really happened.
mm.
Um, fever dreams are a thing. So I ended up at my mom's house. Made it there. Um, it was a good weekend once the vaccines kicked in.
Mm. Mm.
Got a good, nice, clean bill of teeth health today, so my teeth are doing great.
Oh, it's almost time for my semi-annual dental appointment. I need to make that appointment.
You should do that. Get those
Yeah,
chompers checked.
gotta make sure they
Those
stay clean and
chompers
white.
checked.
Yeah, I was speaking of teeth. I was watching somebody eat crab for the first time, and they gave him like the silver crab, like
Is this a
they're
video or in real life?
video. Um, I'm sure they're. I feel like they're the nutcrackers. Like it looks like a
Oh
nutcracker,
yeah,
but
like the
it's
little crab cracker things. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, no, my people are like my
Don't we just use our
generation.
teeth?
We're just using our teeth because I don't
Yeah.
want our teeth to be weak. We're gonna use
Yeah. I
strong.
would
And
just
this,
do that. I don't even eat crab, and I know that.
I
But I guess if
was
you're
like,
in public,
why
if you're
are
like
we? No,
out eating somewhere,
no. I still like
I
I
don't eat
am.
crab. I can't eat crab though, so
I'm
migraines.
sorry.
It's
I'm sorry.
okay. It's actually perfectly fine. I've never really been
I
a
enjoy it for
fan
you
of
though.
crab. I like crab cakes, but I don't like cracking crabs and stuff. I don't know
No,
why
I
I'm
love me.
alliterating
I
so
love me
much.
a good seafood boil, and I gotta work to make sure everything.
That's
Yes.
the thing. It's too much work. It's like,
Ah,
okay, one, if I have to cook this stuff, why do I have to put in more work to eat it? And two, if somebody cooks it for me, why do I have to put in work to eat it?
that's a part of the adventure.
I don't want an adventure. I want a meal. Take the tails off my shrimp.
Oh my gosh, that frustrates me. Why, if I, especially when I'm on a date, why are you giving me tail on shrimp? Why
And you
are
gotta
we doing
drop
this?
it.
And then you have to like put it on the side of your bowl on like a random plate that was brought
Hmm.
with a saucer on it. I mean, with the sauce on it. And I'm like,
Just for the
what are you doing?
tails.
What are you
Just take
doing?
them off
Now
and
now
boil
I
them. I
look like
don't
a
need
crazy
those.
person.
I don't need them. Take them and boil them. You boil them before they get to me. Make the shrimp
Right.
stock.
What are you doing?
I don't need this.
No, but I mean, I also see because that's the same argument my aunt uses for sunflower seeds. She's like, all this work for a little bit seed. It keeps my mouth busy. It keeps me focused on what I'm doing so that I'm not like,
Yeah, that's a
man, I'm
mindless
hungry.
task.
Yeah,
Sunflower seeds are a mindless task for me.
yeah. I love eating sunflower seeds.
Yeah,
I need to stop eating them during meetings though.
that
I
would be
just picked
ideal.
up I picked up like a little pinch of maybe like 6 or 7,
Mhm.
popped them in, and somebody said, "Hey, Leah."
You got to choose your snacks carefully when you're like
I was
when the threat of being called on looms. You have to choose your snacks very carefully.
I feel like a lot of things at work I get a pass for because I'm the only one of me, and so I can.
Everybody's
So
afraid to say anything
yeah,
that might
like
seem culturally insensitive.
yeah, oh my gosh, that is like because all of them are like
White women.
yeah, they're just most of them are like either on the West Coast or Midwest. Most of them are Midwest, and
Mhm.
it's very different when. So I feel like sometimes they handle me a little bit differently.
Because they have to learn the West Coast chick.
I don't think that's all of it, but
Yeah, it's
it's just
no, it's only because you're from the West Coast.
it's weird sometimes when I yeah, uh-huh, yeah, go ahead. You got an itch in the back of your head.
Oh,
It's
my
weird.
hair. My hair.
It's weird when I'm in certain conversations and I look up to see who's at the meeting and it's literally like um just like, oh, this is Nancy Pelosi or this is I don't know, Nicole Kidman. Oh, this
Mhm.
is Charlize Theron. And I'm like,
It's a weird meeting, but okay.
I'm the only one up here with
And there's Viola Davis.
oh man. And I have to like and I think what adds another layer to it is for me, I like to work smarter, not harder. So
Mhm.
when I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to do XYZ, process improvement, all that other stuff. And they're just like, oh, we're used to doing things this way. Please don't touch things.
Yeah, that
Please don't touch things.
that's one thing with my job that I'm happy about. Yeah, I'm the only black guy that's like full-time permanent in my
Mhm,
position or in the writing center.
mhm.
But they seem very open to any suggestion that I make, which actually makes me like slow down with my suggestions because I don't want to give them everything at once. But
Yeah.
I'm like, there's so many different things that we could do to just streamline what like how we operate everything so that it would make it easier for the students, for us, and for the tutors and everything.
Mhm.
But a lot of it is because before I came along, from what I'm hearing from some of my coworkers, some people that I work with who are more in charge than others have been resistant.
Choosing our words very carefully
Yeah,
around this landmine conversation.
they've been
Yes.
very resistant towards doing things differently because it's
Mhm.
just the way that things have always been done.
Right.
But I guess part of what plays into people listening to me more is that with COVID happening or the pandemic, the ongoing pandemic, it's not over, despite what Joe Biden says. Um,
That's not what he meant. He didn't mean that it was oh, we're in a
he just
different
said it.
phase.
He just said it.
We're in a different
He just
phase.
said it. But with the pandemic happening,
Oh my
we did
gosh.
have to shift everything. So now
Mhm.
we're in this weird space where we don't know what anything is supposed to look like. So we have
Mm,
to shape what it looks like.
mhm.
And so every suggestion that I make is being taken and it feels good because I'm like, hey, this is going to make my job easier later, which means that I can play my Switch more from when I'm working from home. It
Listen,
sits on my desk. I'm not even joking. It stays
look,
with me.
look, your work is getting done.
That's
Um,
that's the way I look at it. If
that's it.
the work is getting done, you're not wanting for any tasks to be completed.
Right.
So let me work how I work. Trust my process.
I had to and it's interesting as a person who is as I don't know if you're more of a consistent worker or more of a dynamic worker. I don't know if we've ever had that conversation.
Explain the difference for me of
So
how
for
you define
me,
them.
yeah, so how I define dynamic versus like what's the opposite of dynamic?
Stagnant or crap, now I got to look up.
Okay, while you're looking it up, this is how I look at it
You
cuz
already
I
know.
cuz maybe um maybe consistent is not the word cuz I am consistently dynamic, but I need a not a fast-paced, high-stress job,
Mhm,
but I need a job that is changing and growing and moving in certain directions. We have different projects to work on. There's always something to do,
mhm.
something new to do, not just something, not just new fire, not just fires to put out, but like there's new things to build, new things to look at, new policy changes to implement, new trainings to do. Like there's always something going on that is new to do that I can jump in and do.
Yeah,
Some people like going in, doing the report, completing the report, sending the report, going home. That's not my work style at all. And
torpid,
so, huh?
torpid. Torpid.
Oh, now
Slow
you're
to
giving me
move
words.
or act.
Um, yeah, okay.
Synonyms. Yeah, synonyms are inactive, lethargic, quiescent, sleepy, sluggish.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, torpid.
Inert. What is inert?
Good question. Not being in a state of use, activity, or employment. The
No,
inert,
no.
abandoned.
Passive. Okay, dynamic versus passive. I think passive is a
Yeah,
better
passive is
word.
probably better.
Passive is
Yeah, I'm
probably better.
probably more in the middle, but like when I'm on campus working,
Uh-huh.
I need to be moving like consistently. Like I can't I
Physically or
physically,
okay.
and just mentally. I need to be jumping around, like walking around campus and stuff, which I'm realizing more.
Hmm.
I think we talked before about how when I was teaching online, that was one of the challenges that I had is that I wasn't able to use my space the way that
Uh,
I like to. Like that is part of the composition that is teaching for me is using my physical space and using that to help tell the story. So
right.
when I'm on campus now with tutoring and in this position that I'm in, I'm always at the front desk, even though I don't like being at the front desk. I'm going into people's offices and talking to them, walking around, talking to all the tutors and stuff, talking to the students, which is, you probably wouldn't expect that from me because, like we talked about, I'm more introverted.
I'm learning a lot about you in this moment right now.
Yeah, yeah. But I still need that space to go back to and then go back to being more passive where I can just really sort of zone out and engage in whatever reports need to be done and stuff.
Mhm.
So I would say probably like a split between 60% dynamic or 65 to 70% dynamic worker. And then I need the rest of it to be passive where I can
Mm,
just sit back and recharge. And that goes back to the introvert type thing where I just need to, if I'm talking with somebody even for like 30 minutes or so,
mhm.
I need to be able to go somewhere by myself and just put in headphones for 15 minutes to reground myself. So I'm
Hmm.
in between.
No, I feel like as long for me, I like the I like being in dynamic environments because I get to interact with so many different people
Hmm.
and learn so many new things without having to be the expert on whatever.
Yeah.
So I can find out who's the expert in fraud, who's the expert in AML,
Hmm.
who's the expert on these policies. I still know these things,
Yeah.
but if there's somebody who works in it every single day, I'm going
They
to
probably know
default to
more.
you. Right, because I know enough to be dangerous.
That's
So
the spirit of collaboration. Like
yeah,
every
that's
workspace should be a collaborative workspace, even if you're not interacting with the same people every day. You should,
mhm,
there should be that sense of collaboration where you can exchange ideas with anybody in any department, even if they're completely unrelated or seemingly unrelated,
seemingly, yeah.
because it can spark something. It could be a catalyst for something that could make the department run better or like increase sales or whatever you guys do.
Yeah.
Increase output.
We do quality control
I
review.
know you don't do sales. I know that.
Yeah, quality
But
control is what we
yeah,
do.
increasing quality control output.
It's feedback that we give to our salespeople. I
Increasing
mean, our
feedback that
funders.
you guys give to the salespeople's, I mean,
Hey, make sure you're
fundraisers.
doing your job right because you guys keep missing this and adding things where they don't belong. And they're like,
There we go.
"Oh, we'll fix it. Okay, cool." And
Yeah,
then
tell
they
those
tell us
busters what's what.
not the busters. But I'm finding myself trying to create dynamic situations in a passive role,
Mhm.
and it's
You're talking
like,
about work still, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
it it it's like a fire rocket, like a Roman candle.
Mhm.
It'll set off, but then eventually it fizzles out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. So I'm working really hard to work with people and trying and let them know, hey, this is what I'm passionate about. This is how I feel like things should happen, especially when there's like siloed information,
Mhm.
because so many groups end up failing because, and this is, let me give the people a little backstory. So when I first got into finance, I was a part-time teller.
Mhm.
And what I learned very quickly is that at my branch, there was one person who knew everything. There were a couple of other people who knew some things, but there was only one person who knew everything. She unfortunately had a situation where she couldn't be at the office for months. And during that time, I had been promoted to full time teller, training to be a backup teller and a backup lead teller, I should say. And we were scrambling for a full quarter, trying to figure out how things work, where things go, getting coached multiple times a quarter by our audit team, by other managers who were coming in, all this other stuff. And I realized then, once I get into a leadership position, everybody's going to know everything. And so when I got into my position here, I made sure that my direct reports knew everything that I knew about how to do the job, and made sure that they gave me process improvement suggestions on a regular basis to make sure
Mhm.
that they were like in on the job. Well, when we combined with another group, that group was like, you focus on one, you focus on two, you focus on three, and we do not mix.
Mhm. Everything
And
compartmentalized.
yes, and I was just like, so what if number two like goes on maternity leave?
No.
Or what if number three has to help her dad? Or what if number one decides to leave the company? Well, we would, I said, and this is why I break silos, because we shouldn't have to scramble after they're gone.
Mhm.
Everybody should know everything. And so it took them 2 to 3 months, but they started to get on board once they started seeing the fruits of the labor.
Mhm.
And they were, oh my gosh, they're so excited about doing it. And now they're even suggesting more ways to kind of collaborate and share information. And I was just like, and this is what I do it for. But it's it's been like a very interesting transition to see people who were so stuck in, please don't touch anything. This is the way it's always been. This is the way we're going to continue to do it. Um, just get in where you fit in. And I'm like, that doesn't work for me. I'm
Mhm.
gonna be straight up honest with you. That's not gonna work for me because I don't know how your business lines function. I don't know how you all resolve issues or how you all report issues. Or no, that's not gonna work for me. And when I explained to them why I'm so passionate about breaking silos, they were like, oh my gosh, I don't think we just knew that this person was the person,
Yeah.
and we just gave them all the things to do. We didn't think about, if they're, I mean, because if they're gone, we can kind of step in and kind of do this. And I was like, no, it'd be good if we had 2 to 3 people trained on how to do this thing without having it all fall on one person,
Yeah.
because that's a lot. And then that person may feel like, oh, I can't ever take a long vacation, or I can't do this, blah blah blah. And so um and I don't, me personally, I don't feel like that because there's 3 people who know how to do my job.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, listen,
If I have
I'm
somewhere to
good.
go, I'm going.
Yes, yes. So for the summer and last month, I worked with the managers really, really hard to make sure that we could get the trainings going and we can get everything moving. So I can take a 2 week vacation.
Mhm.
because I waited to the end of the year to try to use up all my vacation on accident. It was like I only took vacation in March and in July,
And
and
it
I was
doesn't roll
like,
over, huh?
it doesn't roll over, so I had to stack them bad boys. I was like, whew.
Do they
So
pay it out to you or anything, or is it just gone if you don't use
no,
it?
you use it or lose it.
That seems illegal.
Yeah, use it or lose it. And since I bought a week, I have to use all of it. So I just like looked at the calendar and was like randomly like this day. Okay,
There it
these
is.
2 days, this week and this week, that day and then this week, and I think I'm good. I feel like there is one more day that I did not put in there, but I'm fine if I lose it. It's fine.
Is it?
But yeah, because I was literally scrambling for. I think I had to schedule 18 days of vacation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Well, don't let that happen
Yeah.
again.
No, next year I have a better plan of how I'm going to do it so that I'm taking at least 2 days off every month.
Mhm.
So I'm not waiting to the end of the year, but I think it kind of works out. But I think I was more focused in on the transition, and then I wanted to have some stability when I moved here.
Mhm.
So going to work brought me that stability.
And now things are too stable.
Which, yeah, it's not stable. I think things are kind of getting stagnant.
Yeah.
And I think that stagnation is what's giving me, um, uh, it's not putting me in like fight or flight mode, but is making me question my next steps.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that I came here and all that kind of stuff. And I'm glad that I had the opportunities that I've had, especially like being introduced to so many different people. But um, it's that I miss the familiarity, even though I know Charlotte is not home, Texas is not home, the places I lived in Texas and stuff like that. Virginia, absolutely not home.
No,
But
I just knew Virginia was
oh gosh,
love to be.
not even close. But I feel like there was so much familiarity around it in
Mhm.
around those places that I lived. Um, and it was pre-pandemic. Well, Charlotte was mid-pandemic, but
Yeah, but still.
even pre-pandemic, like there was familiarity with catching the train to work, meeting so many different people, getting to be involved in different meetings, going to different events, and all that kind of stuff, and actually building community around me.
Mhm.
Um,
You're
and
itchy. That was so weird, huh?
huh?
So you're just started itching too. Sorry, that wasn't synchronized. That was no signal or anything.
Was that your left ear?
No, right.
Oh, that okay, yeah, because it was my right. My right ear is just right in there is itching. Who's talking about me? What's going on? Like, and I just looked. I have literally all my lights on. There's
This is
no
smile people.
they don't do that.
Okay, it was TS.
Why are you like this?
She's behind you.
No, 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 no. But
But yeah, there's a familiarity with how things were set up before,
yeah,
and just being able to have a like when we moved or when you moved, I didn't move to Charlotte. When
okay.
you moved, when you made the choice to go down dirty south, um, when you moved to Virginia, even when you were, yeah, Texas, Virginia, and Charlotte, you were pretty consistent with like interacting with your coworkers and stuff and building a community with them, even
Mhm.
with your neighbors and even those neighbors across the hall. Um,
Woo! That's
yeah,
another story for another time. But
yeah,
yes,
but with you were able to build different things and go different places, but you weren't sort of locked in a sense
yeah,
with like just that area that you're in Seattle, and
yeah.
then just being like just going to the places in fairly close proximity. That was a hard weird F.
Wow.
I don't know why that whistled.
Okay. All right.
Um
I don't think I've ever heard anyone whistle on the F.
I
Always an
don't
S.
know why that just happened. It's like some weird
You were
Dan
trying
Rather
to.
thing.
There's an emphatic point that you were making right there.
I don't think I'll be able to do it again. Um but yeah, you didn't have like that proximity, or you had more of a what it was it? You were able to get out and just go to different places. You weren't just stuck, not stuck, but you weren't beholden to the transit line.
True, true. I feel like right now, um, it's more of not having the option to drive. Like
Yeah.
I can get a what is it called? The gig cars. I can get one of those. I
Mhm.
can get an Uber, a Lyft, or whatever. But I'm just thinking about how a couple of people who live like north of here or even south, and I'm just like, oh, please let me know where's a good place to meet, like in the middle or whatever, because I'm not driving. But I
Mhm.
can't like just take the drive up to explore new places of where
Yeah.
they are. So while some people may have been accurate in their words that they said about where I would be in 6 months, I feel like the accuracy is about 80%. It's not all the way true. Because I don't hate walking. I don't hate taking the bus. I don't
No,
hate taking the train. It's
just the
just not
option.
having the option of driving, because I'm like, oh, I can even when I'm walking and I'm like, oh, I can't get any like even on Sunday, I was like, the meat market is closed. The butcher is not here. The butcher is not here on Sundays. And I keep forgetting that. For the last 3 Sundays, I've forgotten that.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, okay, the closest place that has lamb is like Safeway or International District. Safeway is about 30 minutes away walking. International District is about 15 minutes away on the train. And I was like, if I was driving, I would just drive down or up to wherever it is. But since I'm walking, I'm like having to keep in mind what I'm carrying, what I'm getting, and things like that.
Mhm.
And so it's just like I have to make better decisions about what I'm doing. So um
Is
it's
it better decisions, or is it just more intentional
I think
choices behind everything you're doing?
yeah, it's hard to be spontaneous.
Yeah, because it's not like you're making bad choices or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's not like better decisions. It's just you have to be extremely mindful of, okay, this is what my not even limitations. Yeah, these are the limitations that I'm working with.
Mhm.
So I have to make all these adjustments that it's not your first choice to make these adjustments. So I get where you're coming from, where it's not this, it's a choice thing, it's a psychological thing. If the car
Yeah.
was there, if the car was parked, and you just said, hey, no, I don't feel like driving, I'm a walk. Oh, I can't get that because I decided to walk. It's like,
Right.
no, I'm not getting this because I don't have the means to take it home.
Right.
It's
That
a whole different type of
yeah.
mindset with it.
That's not I really am trying to do better, because I'm finding myself in this space where naturally I am an extrovert.
Mhm.
Naturally I am rejuvenated when I am around people.
Right.
Went out to brunch on Saturday morning, and then Saturday night went to go see Smile. You know, a lot of don't know why I did that, because even
Saturday
the
night, didn't sleep.
yeah,
Sunday
I
night, didn't
when I tell
sleep.
you I that light was on bright, and then I had to like turn it down to make sure that it wasn't going to be too bright for me to sleep.
Mm,
That
mm,
was a
mm,
lot.
mm.
So, but I feel like,
Poor
and then when I
child.
heard the light click off, that's when I was like, oh, we're in the
We're in the
dark.
real dark now.
And so and y'all listen, for those of you who are my horror movie fans, um, make sure the people in your life, whether they are a spouse, a partner, a sibling, a family member, friend, whoever they are, make sure they know the horror movie rules. There's no way that you should be comfortable going to sleep in the dark with all the doors open. I just, I don't know why I have to keep saying that, just having that conversation of just like, why are all the doors open? Why are the doors open?
Should
Can
we
we
close that?
I feel
Plus, it's
like
good for house fires if you sleep with your door closed, apparently.
huh?
It's good for house fires. Like, well, not good for house fires. If a house fire were to break out and your door is closed, it's less
Mm,
of a chance that your room will burn down.
I
Assuming the
just
fire didn't start in your room. Just saying. Yeah.
I hope it didn't start around. But I just feel like
Yeah, that's
um
arson.
because even sometimes my nieces and nephews will leave their doors like cracked. What are you doing? Who are
I
you
think I put
inviting
mine
in
door
here?
cracked.
Why are
I
you
do.
why?
Well, I mean, it's not latched closed, but it's pushed to where if it could close all the way, but I don't know. I had this thing about like I don't want my door to be like latched closed if I'm sleeping. I don't know why. I've always been like that. Uh,
See, and you gonna mess around and have somebody standing over you in the middle of the night.
I know.
Mm-mm.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Wow. I'm not sleeping tonight.
Tika Sumter.
Oh my gosh. I
She's,
literally just had a visual of that. I
of
don't
her
want
just
that in
standing
my
over you with looking through her eyebrows like this.
You're like, why?
Because
Why?
every picture she's looking like,
I don't I don't know I just want Tika something not to be a part of my life.
well, if I'm
I
around,
just
Tika Sumter's gonna be around. So
just I
it's just
just
a
don't want
sacrifice.
it.
It's just a
Ah,
sacrifice you're gonna have to you're gonna have to live with.
no, I no. But yeah, I feel like getting back to the topic, I feel like
Yeah, let's do that.
yeah, I feel like there are like I'm an extremely extroverted person. I really enjoy being around people,
Mhm.
going to brunch, hanging out with my friends and things like that. Being with my family in person, like in person
Yeah.
social situations really just like rejuvenate me and give me so much energy.
Mhm.
I'm more creative, I'm more focused, way less stressed, social anxiety gone, all that kind of stuff. But I feel like because of the experiences that I've had over these last 7 or 8 years, I have built up habits that create isolation.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I'm trying to learn how to break those habits. But I got used to going to the movie theater by myself, going bowling by myself, trying different activities by myself.
Mhm.
And people are like, "Oh no, it's not by yourself; it's with yourself." I'm by myself, person. Just stop with the semantics. Um, but whether I'm going to the water, taking a trip, or whatever, I tend to not wait for other people to do that,
Mhm.
which creates which is kind of like the perfect environment for isolation because you're not while you're not dependent on doing it with a group of people or even another person
Mhm.
because you want to have the experience regardless. um I just feel like sometimes it's just easier to do it by myself as opposed to waiting for another person to oh yeah, do you want to go bowling? Actually, don't worry about it, I'll go by myself.
Mhm.
And so I think that really adds another layer of the of hurdles trying to build a community. And yeah, I've only been here for like 5 or 6 months, so I'm trying to give myself kind of space and grace to get adjusted to my physical environment and try
Yeah.
to build on in my social emotional environment so that I have more people. But those of you who move, I feel like the adventure in me is a more isolated person. But there is a yearning for community and a yearning for stability, groundedness, and um, what's the other word that I'm looking for? Not stagnation.
Consistency?
Well, I'm consistently an adventurer,
Yeah.
consistently practicing activities that keep me isolated a little bit. So I just think that since I do want to build that community and I do want to have that stability of and the groundedness of being like, no, this is my village, this is my people, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
I'm trying to do a little bit better with that and trying to break those habits that have reinforced the isolation
Right.
in my space. So, but then I'm also being very careful though about like who I allow
Yeah, you don't want to just go
inside.
and let everybody in all willy nilly.
Right. There's a lot of like brunches for like specific, it's like, oh, single people between the height of 5'2" and 6'3" who crochet on a Thursday night. Why don't we go get like reposado tequila and talk about the Game of Thrones House of Dragon? I'm like, why is it so specific?
That's when you jump in and you be like, yeah, I don't know what any of these things are, but you guys
I crochet, but I don't
let's talk
know if I
about it.
fit any of these criteria.
Convince me to watch Game of Thrones. Spend this outing trying to convince me to watch it. I watch it already. I'm not one of
I
those weirdos who haven't.
I'm a weirdo, I guess, who hasn't watched it. But people were so
Ew,
disappointed.
this
Like it's
podcast is
almost
over. No,
like I feel like people were so disappointed in season 8. It kind of ruins like, but
it doesn't
also
exist. It didn't happen.
a lot of people say that fans
It
really,
didn't
really
happen.
believe that season 8 didn't happen.
It didn't
But I,
happen.
but I feel like
It's not a belief, it's a conviction, by the way.
I feel like having that strong of a conviction on that show, it must not be that.
No, just that one. It's literally that one season. And honestly, the season didn't start off terribly. Maybe like the first 2 to 3 episodes were okay. And for some reason, things just really just went left. And I don't understand how it happened. I still can't wrap my head around it. I'm not going to try to make sense of it right now because in my conviction, it never happened, but it's a fever
Okay.
dream that I don't understand why that fever dream happened.
I have a good question for you before we end this.
Okay.
How would you, because you've seen this movie, I know you have.
Okay.
How would you pitch The Hand That Rocks the Cradle? How would you convince someone to watch that movie who hasn't seen it?
I honestly don't think I could convince somebody who hasn't seen it to watch it. There's a lot to unpack in that movie. You have Winston.
That was the first one I thought of too.
Yeah, Winston.
She really hit him. She really did like
Yeah.
hit him with a crowbar.
Yeah, she had to. You have the woman breastfeeding somebody else's baby. You have the doctor sexually assaulting his patients. There was just a lot.
It was a lot going on.
I don't think that I could tell somebody, hey, you should watch this movie. I would probably just show them the trailer and just be like, hey, look at this.
The trailer is like so 90s though. Like
I haven't watched the trailer.
I just watched it because I was trying, I was like, oh, this is a good white people drama. Like it's pretty good. And he was
not a drama for one thing, it's a thriller.
Is it a thriller? I thought of it more as like a drama.
That is a Lifetime movie with a budget.
It is. It is a Lifetime movie. Yes.
All those movies from the 90s were Lifetime movies.
Because even
maybe it's a Lifetime movie. Let's be real.
And even Behind Enemy Lines, I was just like, yeah, I feel like
they all have that same formula. I like that movie, Behind Enemy Lines.
I have not watched it.
I watched it.
I need to stop watching 90s trailers because I just can't. The 90s trailer makes me not want to watch it.
Yeah, the 90s trailers actually weren't that good. Like at all.
No.
Like I feel like if I went back and watched Double Jeopardy trailer, I would probably think, oh, this movie would be really stupid. Double Jeopardy is one of my favorite 90s movies. Even though I think it may have been.
I never watched the trailer for that movie. I literally just clicked on it to no. It came on TV.
Yeah, I love the movie. I don't think I remember.
Judd
and
Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah,
Ashley Judd, Tommy Lee Jones, and then her husband and stuff was in it. I love that movie. Yeah, 1999.
It was a good movie though.
Yeah, that was the other one. An Eye for an Eye. I think that was the one with Sally Field, right? Where her husband or where her daughter got killed, and then the guy got off on a technicality.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah, that movie was.
Oh no, because I'm thinking of Don't Say a Word. Never mind, that's a completely different movie.
Yeah, that's Brittany Murphy.
Wait, Brittany Murphy? Yeah, Eye for an Eye. Eye for an Eye, 96.
Sally Field, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the guy with the cheekbones.
Kiefer Sutherland.
No, Ed Harris.
Oh yeah, cheekbones.
Kiefer Sutherland doesn't have cheekbones like that.
No, that's what I was thinking when when you said it, I'm like, no, but I forgot Ed Harris was in it. I thought you were talking about the other star.
No, I haven't seen this movie actually.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good 90s movie.
Sally
Got
Field is
credits.
always in distress.
I love Sally Field.
She's
I don't know
she's
why.
always at wait. Was Sally Field the one in the movie who said in the movie with the abuse the where she was being abused by her child and she was like
No, that was Delta Burke. You're talking about Dangerous Child?
dangerous child. Yeah,
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 that's
yeah, yeah.
Delta Burke. I know
That
exactly what
like
you're talking
every like I'm watching the movie like okay I know this ain't hold on let me fast forward this because this is real. Oh my gosh!
about.
And
And he
I'm
ended
just
up
like
almost killing his brother. Well,
yeah
didn't his
I'm
brother die? I can't remember.
oh, I can't remember the whole movie. I just remember her going to the library to do research. And every time she put in abused by child, it said child abuse. And she's like, no, I'm the one being abused. And people are looking at her crazy. And I'm just like,
You're talking to the wrong people. Call the
if you
cops.
don't, right, if you don't get yourself some self defense classes, get you a belt, get you a strap, get you something, because there's no way as an adult that you're afraid
She
to
was
defend yourself against a child, against a human being that you pushed out of your own body.
she was going through it with that boy.
Couldn't be
Mm,
me.
mm,
And like we
mm.
would have squared at day one. Oh, you feeling froggy?
Like
Oh,
you
you
can
feeling
go.
froggy?
You don't have to be here.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. I will call the police and let them know that you want to be emancipated, and you can go ahead sign the paperwork and live your own life. Like you think you can make it out there? Absolutely. But if you have zero times to raise up on me as a child, like there you have zero. You think you want to do it? Look,
he was beating on the whole family though. The mom, the
no,
brother. I think the dad had moved out, right?
the dad wasn't in their lives, and I was like,
And the dad wasn't believing him either, or believing the
no.
mom.
No, because the child was like a narcissistic psychopath or
The
something. Like,
dangerous child was a narcissistic psychopath.
I'm just like, nah, this couldn't be me.
Dangerous
This
child.
this couldn't be me. Now I gotta watch that movie again to find out.
I do. I do too.
Like I just
I
I
haven't seen
couldn't
it in a
believe
while.
that was a real thing. I haven't seen it since I think I was still living in Hercules.
Yeah.
Um, oh my gosh, yeah, that was early 2000s.
It's time. It's time for you to rewatch it.
Rewatch it again. Yeah, I just, whoo, Lord, yeah, but hopefully, hopefully I get some balance and
You
stop
will.
isolating myself. I feel like it's just the practice of isolating myself that is keeping me from going forth and conquering.
Yeah,
But
and it's just breaking those habits that you, like you say, you realize that they are habits, so it'll be easier to, not easier,
yeah, because they're not
at least,
personality traits.
yeah, at least you're mindful of them, so you'll be able to intervene on them.
Hopefully, I don't know.
Hopefully,
We'll see.
ideally,
Yes.
if you want.
Um, yeah, but go ahead and plug away.
Oh, just JJ
Whoa.
underscore. Almost messed up, right? At least I didn't say under dash. JJ underscore Newberry, Instagram, Twitter, and
Good
TikTok.
tweets.
I actually posted a TikTok video of
No way. Are
Little
you serious?
Misty. Yeah, Little Misty.
I gotta look it up.
It's an old video of Little Misty. You've seen it before.
Misty
Um,
Love. No knees,
yeah,
McGee.
yeah. Just her moving her little ball around
No
like a
knees,
little
McGee.
DJ. So yeah, posts are happening. There'll be more posts on TikTok happening.
Ooh,
Yeah, she was just a tiny
okay.
tyke there.
She was so little. Look at her
She was,
teeth.
yeah, she still has the same teeth with the little snarl. But yeah, follow me, JJ underscore Newberry, all the socials.
All the socials. Yeah. After you follow Jason, make sure to follow us. Take a Space Pod. That's Take a Space POD on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Again, shout out to Baylor for my shirt at Baylorism on Instagram. Shout out to Black Horror Humor. That is the other show that I do with Baylor and Drake from Everything Culture, where these Black people give our perspective on different horror movies. We may be reviewing Smile. I'll see if my co-hosts have watched it. Um, yeah, because I have a lot of thoughts about that movie that will continue on that on that page. But thanks again for tuning in. Please make sure to follow us on all the socials, including YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, yeah, all those good stuff. Take a Space
Everything.
Pod. That's Take a Space POD. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Please let us know. Let us know your thoughts. Like, what habits have you created that have gone against your personality, or how are you coping at work? Are you a more passive person or a dynamic person? We had some
Hmm,
really good conversations today.
I
All
think
right, y'all.
so.
Yeah. I hope that you all have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.